So in usual fashion, I forgot to do an intro for this video, but hello everyone. Today we are going to be planting up the front garden bed of our house. I've made some changes to it from what I had last year, less annuals. I divided some perennials to fill up more space, cost less money every year, but I am going to get red Coleus this year, which you can see I've already planted behind me, but I'm going to take you along while I do that. And then we've got 3 different pots that I want to plant up with some annuals, and I will take you along for that as well. So this is where the bed stands currently. It's gone through a lot of changes just in these last couple of weeks. We've lived in this house for around 2 years, and this white one's Veronica, which you can see here, was planted when it was like the couple months after we moved in. It definitely needed to be split. So I spent time last weekend, I split all of these in half to make 2 white ones Veronicas out of 1. And you'll see, we'll get down there. They're all planted down here at the end of the bed. I originally had, like an idiot, I planted a red twig dogwood right here just because I loved the winter structure it provides. It provides those red twigs, and even in the cold and the snow, they stand out. They look great, but it definitely is too big for this spot. So the red twig dogwood gets anywhere from 5 to 6 feet tall and wide. You will see it in videos we take later in the summer. Okay, I apologize for the background noise. It is a very windy day, and I am on the front of my house, which is directly beside a main road. These are limelight hydrangeas. They are not limelight prime hydrangeas, which is the new version. These are limelights. I have no issues with them. They will get 5 to 6 feet tall and wide. They're doing really well for us. This is their 2nd year in this bed. I forget the variety name of this evergreen. This is that blue juniper again. Then if we move over here, this is a David Austin climbing rose. It did all of this growth in 1 year, and this is with a prune back. So I've still got to stake it up. I would love for it to grow up this post and over eventually. It's a beautiful yellow color. The variety name is, let's see. The variety name is the Pilgrim. So it's the Pilgrim David Austin. And I got it at a local nursery, so it was not bare root when I planted it. I have 2 more limelight hydrangeas, and then here is where I did most of my work. These are the white ones Veronica that we separated last weekend. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of them out of what I had over there. I got a couple more, and I put those on the side of the house. I'm sure you'll see those in a later video. This is a red bud. It's really beautiful. I forget the variety name, of course, but it starts off golden, and then as it goes throughout the summer, the leaves turn from yellow to red to green, and it is really beautiful. What we're going to be doing today, I did this at my last property, and I love red Coleus. So it just is a beautiful leaf structure and looks really great with all the green that we have going on. So I plan on putting a red Coleus in a drift here behind the white ones Veronica in front of the limelight hydrangeas. Oh, I did not mention these, but these are alliums that I have from bulbs. This is their 1st year. They're not doing so great, but I'm going to leave them and kind of see how they do. We're also going to be putting 1 red Coleus to kind of start the drift off right here. So you'll see that red in a line as it goes down to the red bud. And that will be backed by the beautiful white hydrangeas and be kind of like a barrier because the white ones Veronicas are white and the hydrangeas are white, so it'll provide some color contrast. Okay, so this is the red Coleus that we're going to be using. I just got it at a local nursery. It's called Volcanica. Redhead. I do have experience growing these before. I have used the Proven Winners varieties in the past. I find that these work just as well, and they get bigger for me than the Proven Winners variety does. I don't know if that's just my soil or the luck that I have, but these end up being around 3 to 4 feet tall and around 3 feet wide for me. I do pinch off the blooms because I only use them for foliage. I think they're going to provide a great contrast with all of the green that we have in the garden bed. So we're going to go ahead and go place these in the bed. Okay, I'm going to walk you where I've placed these red Coleus. So we've got 1 here, and I think that looks great because it's going to start this drift off, kind of lead interest down further back into the bed, and it's separated by this rock structure we put in. I've got one placed here. This one desperately needs water. And then I continue the drift along. We almost need one has fallen and it's over there, but it'll be up right there. You gotta kind of pretend that these will not be here. Those are alliums, and they're gonna die back. They won't be there by the time the heat of the summer gets to us. The white ones grow between 12 and 18 inches tall, and usually, in my experience, do about a 20-inch spread. I've thought about placing annuals between them, but for budgetary reasons, I think I'm just gonna leave it at this. I think the Coleus provides beautiful color, and it will be a really pretty stair step from the tall hydrangeas to the Coleus down to the white wands veronica. But I think it's beautiful. It's exactly what I want. I think that's all that I'm gonna do with the rest of this bed. So we're gonna get to planting. Okay, so we got those holes dug for our Coleus. These are about a 4-inch pot. So I used my auger and got these holes dug. As you can see here's one of the holes. I also put in some Biotone starter fertilizer. This will just help them root in faster. These Coleus need really strong bases as the stems are pretty fragile. Once they get acclimated though, they're a great plant. They seem to do really well for me. They will need a lot of watering when I first plant them, but as I get them later in the summer, they will need less watering. And I have drip irrigation set up in this bed. So it needs 2 to 6 hours of direct sun. It'll definitely get that here. It says 16 to 20 inches of spacing. In my experience, these get wider than that, probably about 2 feet. The height of 36 inches, so about 3 feet tall. That is what I have experienced for sure. They do bloom, but like I said, I pinch them back, and even the tag says they're grown for foliage. This bed is not the most beautiful right now, and another project I'll be doing with you all, we're gonna redo the drip system. The drip is this line here. It has emitters, I believe, every 12 inches, and it has run great in the past, but I'm kind of redesigning the bed this year. Last year I had annuals growing in the front here, so I've got to redo where this drip line goes to. If you can see, I also had landscape fabric down, and you can see the roots of my hydrangea, which is not great. I'm gonna take some garden soil and build this up a little bit to cover those roots up for these hydrangeas to make sure they're healthy. I've got a lot of mulch kind of pushed back from this area. You can see all the dirt from where I've planted the white ones veronica splits from when I divided them. But this is the drift of the red Coleus. I think it's gonna look really beautiful, especially if you're coming in through our front entrance, and I will show you. This is where we park, and like you will look up and the red will pop out here, and then you'll see it pop out here, and then it will lead you on a drift this way backed by these hydrangeas. I think it's going to be really beautiful. Okay, so next on the agenda is planting up this pot here. This is the first thing you kind of see when you're walking down our stairs, when you're leaving our house, and it's the biggest pot that you see when you enter our house. This pot has a structural support in it. This is from Gardener Supply. I ordered it directly from them. I've never really grown anything in this that actually needed the support, but last year I put a red fountain grass in the center, and it was kind of coming out all the sides of it, and I loved the look of that. So I want to do that again, definitely replicate that again. So the structural support is definitely staying. I tried to plant some bulbs in here this past fall, and they did not come up. They were daffodil bulbs, and I got them from a local nursery in Frankfort, Kentucky, and it was probably my fault. I did not water this at all over the winter. I thought they got enough water from the rain that we had, but apparently not. These are the plants that we're going to be putting in here. I know it is a lot, it's a small pot, but we are going to cram it full. So we've got the red fountain grass. This will be for the center of the pot. It grows very fast. If you've ever grown this before, it's a beautiful annual grass. It is not perennial in our area. It grows around 2.5 to 3 feet tall and gets around 12 inches wide. It is pretty aggressive. So I'm putting it with aggressive annuals that will hopefully stand up to it. I am going to chalk this full because I want a great impact at the beginning of the season. The next plant that I have is Petunia Vista Silverberry. I've grown this before. There are no blooms right now. but it is a great annual. I've grown it in the ground and I've grown it in pots before. It has this really nice variegation. It's like this pink color in the center of the petunia. They do not have to be deadheaded. It is a great annual. For our trailer, I've got it's like a lime creeping Jenny. I loved the way this looked. I almost got, oh crap, what's the name of that? Lemon coral sedum. But I thought this provided the same look, but was a little bit more delicate. So I'm excited to try this out. And this is a winner every year for me in Kentucky. It is Scaevola, and this is the whirlwind blue variety. It does great for us every single year in landscape and pots. I never have to worry about it. It's forgiving with a water schedule if you're hand watering, which this will be on drip, so we don't have to worry about that. But it is phenomenal. It is a great flower to grow. So we've got 2 of these, one Creeping Jenny, one Super Petunia Vista, I believe, one Super Petunia Vista Silverberry, and one Red Fountain Grass. So I put new soil in this pot last fall for the daffodil bulbs that I put in here that didn't grow. So I don't need to put different soil in this pot at all. I am going to do a top dress once I get all of these annuals in here. I'm going to add drip irrigation to this at a later date. I'll be able to get around these plants to add it, so I'm not going to stress out about it today. I just added a couple handfuls of Biotone starter fertilizer, just like we did for the red Coleus. So I just set up the camera to show you guys as I was planting this, and here is one of those daffodil bulbs. It is completely rotten. So it's almost like it got too much water this spring. I have no idea what happened with this. I've had really good success with daffodils grown in pots before. I got those bulbs though at colorblends.com, and this is the first time I've gotten kind of local bulbs from a nursery. I don't think I'll ever do that again. This spot done. I've got the Creeping Jenny here. This is the Whirlwind Blue. Scaevola is opposite. This is the Red Fountain Grass on top, and again, it will grow up to like here and has really pretty like bloom stalks. It's a gorgeous grass. I usually plant it in my flower beds, but I'm not this year. I chose this Coleus that we planted together earlier, and this is the Super Petunia Vista Silverberry, and it is going to be beautiful. It will trail out and over the Scaevola, and the Creeping Jenny will fill up this side and droop down. It's going to be a great pot. I know it seems full. I've had success in the past, so I will keep you guys updated on how this one goes. We have 2 more pots to do. So our last project today is filling up these 2 containers that flank the entrance to our garage. Right now I have these boxwoods in them that are doing really well. They were a cheap variety from Home Depot. I don't remember, I think they're Winter Gem, but I don't remember the exact variety name. I will try and pop it up on screen if I do remember it. I put these bamboo stakes in here. Nothing in this pot is gonna grow up these stakes. I just like them for the way that they look, and they stand up against our dark house really nicely. They look good from the street. So here is a more close-up view on these pots. These are double-walled plastic containers that I got from At Home on sale at the end of season, I think like 3 years ago. We're going to follow the same kind of plan that we did on the other container we just planted. We are going to use, this time instead of Creeping Jenny, we're going to use this red sweet potato vine that is absolutely gorgeous. We're not going to use Creeping Jenny because I thought the color matched too similar to the boxwood, so I wanted something that stood out a little bit more. We're going to use the Super Petunia Vista Jazzberry again. Like I said, it does great. It will, one plant of this will take up this entire pot if I let it. We've got 2 different kinds of Scaevola here. We have the Whirlwind Blue, which this one is actually blooming. And then I have the whirlwind pink. So both of these will go in here. So I've got the whirlwinds in the behind, the sweet potato vine, and the Super Petunia Vista silverberry. I just planted these boxwoods, so this soil is brand new. It's doing really well. As you can see some of the roots on top of the boxwood. I've had that happen before. I am going to put some dirt like as a top dress on this, and I am going to put a little bit more biotone starter fertilizer on the top of the soil before I start planting these 4 annuals. I had them in the pot in a certain order, and I know myself, so I set them outside of the pot in a certain order. So this is that pot with the red fountain grass in the center. We are going to fertilize this at least once a week because of all the annuals we have in here, and the red fountain grass is a very hungry annual. It will take all the nutrients out of the soil and leave the other 4 annuals kind of to fend for themselves. So we're going to give that one a little bit of extra help. And then if you move over here, I've got both of these containers. There's one down there and one here. Filled up. We have the red sweet potato vine, the 2 Scaevola, and the Super Petunia Vista silverberry with the boxwood behind them. And I think, like I said, this variety is winter gem. It wants part sun, and our home will give it that. We have morning sun in this area, but then the house shields it from the harsh afternoon sun. With that, I'm going to call it a day. Thanks everyone for coming along with me on this planting job. We got 3 containers full, and we got the Coleus planted in our front bed. Next steps are drip irrigation and mulching, and I'll take you along for both of those in another video. Have a great day. See y'all later.